All right, just put a one up to make sure you can hear me. I'm actually going off of Wi Fi. Last time I turned Wi Fi off, so I'm actually going through a straight plug in. I know we had problems with the sound last time, and let me know how it sounds. It was going in and out last time, and obviously I never got a chance to to do anything with it. And of course, Bat 13, I do believe was first, although I am showing James here first, but I don't think that could be real. But maybe James beat Bat 13. Not sure. I think Bat 13 actually checked in like last week sometimes. I got to get rid of this. It ain't going to work. Alrighty, so we do have James Bearden in the house. It is always good to see you. Got the regulars in here. Bat 13, my man, Daddy Dutch Kent. Are you going to be at Memphis in May? Kent, is anybody in this chat going to be at Memphis in May? I am thinking about going. Judge Webb, it is always good to see you. Of course, that is Maddie checking in. I told the wife right before air I will keep my flirting to a low tonight, as I do believe she is listening in on the in the other room. As I go down the list, of course, we've got Kiki, that goes to you also. My man Chris, that definitely does not go to you. Anthony, it is good to see you. We've got some ones up. Does the sound better than last time? You know, it has to be something with the Wi-Fi. We've got a lot of ones up. Scott, good to see you. Anthony, I think I got you. Uncle Pink's checking in. Logan Fox coming in strong. John, it is always good to see you. And we've got a sounds good from Bat 13. Sounding great. So far, so good on the sound. That is good to know. You know, you spend heap loads of money, not heap loads, but you know, I spared not too much expense just to try to get a decent sound. You know, this microphone alone. I mean, you see the microphone. If you ever watch like Joe Rogan or any podcast or show like you see this microphone on there a lot, and I think it's like 300-400 bucks. But you know, I looked back at some shows that I used to do with the microphone. You could see over my shoulder, and it almost sounded better. So yeah, who the heck knows? I sure don't. We've got some smoking weather happening as the other one checks in over my shoulder. Bat did check in midweek. I thought so. I'll tell you, the Bat, I don't know, the dude may be Batman because, you know, I could post a short or a video and the guy is there before, you know, before I go back to make sure it upload. I mean, within seconds. I don't know how he does it. He must be tied in or something. And it's not my channel only, of course, M and K's channel, but it's a lot of videos. It's a lot of channels. You know, I just noticed I don't have my two lights on there, but the video looks pretty good to me. So maybe I don't need them. More money wasted. No on that. How about you, C Mac? You going to Memphis in May? Daddy Dutch is saying no. C Mac. Snow here tomorrow. Missed most of the major rain. Daughter and fam getting hammered down in Nashville. We're a little. It's a little fugazi here in Jersey. A little misty. Tomorrow's going to be rain all day, so I had to get out there and film today, so I can just edit tomorrow. Usually I film on Monday, but you know, I had to get out there today. Sound is on point. Well, look at that. That is good to know. I know last time I listened, it was a disaster. I was going "Ooh," in and out. That didn't look too good. Am I echoing? Now, Hood. Audio is cool. Linda's saying it's good. Barbecue Jerry checking in. What is happening? Well, you know what's happening, my man, is summertime is quickly approaching, or spring. Yeah, I'll be going out on holiday or vacation to Jamaica in another 2, 3 weeks. Coming back, cooking, maybe Memphis in May, and then maybe Vegas to meet up with CJ in July. So it's and of course I just got back from New Orleans and Chicago. I could have went to Germany, but I'm going to pass on Germany. I don't want to go to Germany. So it's a pretty packed schedule. Definitely having a lot of fun for sure. You know, I posted up some stuff on my Facebook. Um, 2020, I had 5,000 subscribers at the gallery channel. And hold on. And I'm still having a lot of fun, you know. So that is cool. You know, that is cool that I'm still having a lot of fun. I still got that drive, that license to griddle channel definitely pumped some oomph in me. And no for CMAC. All right, that is cool. We will wait to hear about that unless you want to spill it here. Good to see you, Mike. And as you can hear, my voice is already giving out, and I've been on air for 10 minutes. And there is Mr. Mark Lustig checking in. Yeah, the Mets are looking good, man. I love it. Yeah, that was sure certainly fun. If I go out to Memphis in May, we will do it again if you'd like. It just depends. Yeah, I don't think I would. You know, I don't talk any political here on the show, but I don't think I would go to Germany right now. I think I'd rather stay away from there. You know, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to get stuck over there. You know, it's from the second I leave my house in the morning to checking into the hotel in Germany, and I figured it out. We're looking at about 17 hours. That is just that's too much. You know, I think I would need a day to just just to recoup, you know. I'd have jet lag to end all jet lag. 17 hours is a long time. You know, when you're commuting, flying, and then, commuting, and yeah, no. My man 1047 coming in. Yeah, that it's just too long. Um, I'd rather stick, to Canada, or in here in the States, for any type of barbecue events. And as you know, New Orleans was fun. As Maddie throws up a question, so what was my favorite moment in New Orleans? I got to. I was going to set this up before I came on air, but of course, that doesn't happen. But I'm gonna do it right now and just waste everybody's time while I'm doing it. Just bear with me 1 second. We will get there pretty quick. I'm almost there. I swear, I'm almost there. So probably, and I've talked about this on a past because everybody knows that I interviewed Stephen Reichlin, and when you're in my age bracket, and into barbecue, you definitely know who Stephen Reichlin is. I mean, he is the godfather of barbecue. He was, in barbecue, he was probably as big as you can get. So probably one of my favorite times. Hold on, I'm losing everything here. So probably one of my favorite times was definitely sitting down with him. Hold on. I actually got a chance to. I got that up on the screen now. So I actually got a chance to spend half a day with him, where I interviewed him. Chef's Temp. I don't think they've done anything with the interview. I'll probably chop it up and release some of it. It was about a 6 minute interview, but I went out to dinner with him, had a drink with him. Even though I don't really drink. Spent some time with him, picking his brain. And the one thing about him is he's got a story for everything. And the stories are legit, and they're pretty amazing stories. So spending some time with him, I actually got noticed. So that's a guy that walked up to me. He actually heard my voice and then started putting two and two together who I was. So that was also pretty cool. I know you guys could see my pictures. I don't know what the heck's going to pop up. Let me see. So spending time with Grill Sergeant was also a highlight. Just getting to know him. I talk to a lot of YouTubers. Excuse my voice, man. I talk to a lot of YouTubers, CJ, the girls, Grill Sergeant, and a couple other ones, but it is always good. Speaking to them is one thing, but going and hanging out with them, is a total other ball game. And it's just so funny because I seem to have have met a lot of good people. I keep my circle very small. So anybody that I let in my circle, is good people. And Grill Sergeant is one of them. We talk. He's a whiz with the camera, and so he helps me a lot with with the cameras. And we really dove into a lot of a lot of YouTube, just a lot of YouTube stuff. Also, there's that's the owner and his wife of Chef Temp, and talk about good people. I mean, I don't know if everybody uses Chef's Temp's products here, but well, they definitely work as good or if not better than any other product. But the thing most about Chef's Temp is just the owner, man. They are just true blue, down to earth people. And they have really given me, a lot as I go through these pictures. There's the Red Eye Grill in New Orleans, and let's get to. So let's talk about New Orleans for a second. So compared to Chicago, I will probably, and if there's any Chicago people in here, I mean no disrespect or no offense, but I probably will never go back to Chicago again. The difference between Chicago and New Orleans is like night and day. New Orleans, well, first of all, in Chicago, I knew I was in trouble the second I asked somebody in the airport for help. They don't care. They're not going to give you the time of day. these are people that work there. And then, the people in the city were, I'm used to the hustle and bustle of the city. They were okay, but I'm judging on just the people who work there and who are supposed to help you. New Orleans is the Southern hospitality in New Orleans is just off the charts. From the second you get off the plane, the smiles are, you can feel it. You can feel that. So I'm a lot with energy, and I could feel good energy from people. And if there's bad energy, I probably won't be around those people too much. And in Chicago, you do not get good energy at all. It's a matter of fact, it sucks the energy out of you. That's what I said. I'll never go back there. In New Orleans, as soon as you get off the plane, you're just engulfed with positive energy. I mean, you literally, if you're tuned in, tapped in, you can feel the positive energy hit you. And just the people, they make eye contact. That's a big thing. If people don't make eye contact with you, that would be a kind of like a negative energy. In Chicago, in New Orleans, you get immediate eye contact with everybody, mainly the people that work there, from grabbing a coffee to, where do I catch an Uber? In Chicago, I asked, where can I catch an Uber? They just pointed me, down that way. And down that way is probably a mile of hallway, so absolutely no help. In New Orleans, they walk in, they point, and they show you, and they're smiling, and just the Southern hospitality is amazing. And in the city of New Orleans was so friggin' clean that I couldn't believe it. Very safe. Now, I'm not talking Bourbon Street. Me and Grill Sergeant, we did go to Bourbon Street. It was as big as a SHIT hole as I remember 30 years ago. But that's what Bourbon Street is. It's just, it is what it is, Bourbon Street. And if you want something better, you go to French Street. There you're going to get your jazz and your blues. But Bourbon Street is hip hop. It's trash. It's an experience to experience once. I'll never go back. But the city of New Orleans is just flat out amazing. I couldn't say enough good things about New Orleans, and I'm pretty sure that is just about everywhere in the South, in the States. As you get closer up to the cities, it gets a little bit more rough. But New Orleans was cool. I guess that was a pretty much of a long thing. Okay. I don't know what that's about. Maybe Kent, you can help her out, or Tom, Food Factory. I don't think I said hi to Tom, so there you go. Yeah, it really, really is. You know me, man. I could just feel it, and I felt it in New Orleans. I felt it so much that I would go back to New Orleans, although there's so many other places to go. When I go away, I like to go to the islands. But New Orleans, if I was going to stay in the States and do something, I would definitely go back to New Orleans. A lot of little quaint, jazz clubs are still there in the city. And of course, there's a big casino. So it was pretty cool. Yeah, I was thinking, and I was actually going to post something. Again, you could see my gallery thing right there, and there's a bunch of tags of places that I've been since I started this, and of course, Mohegan Sun with the girls, Canada with the girls, then Chicago twice, New Orleans. Vegas with CJ, which may happen again, and then of course I can't forget Uncle Steve down in Houston at the Texas Rodeo. I mean, to it's almost it's almost crazy to think about it, because I would have never thought about it. 2017, 2018, none of this was even a thought process. All this happened, just like I always think, and if anybody's out there has something they want to do or this, that, and the other, it just happened one day. And maybe next week I'll put that video up of my first video. I could probably do it now. It's so bad, but it just happened. It's just you just get up and Kelly Belly, we talk about it all the time right there. This game is not easy, but if the whole trick with it is you have to love to cook. If you don't love to cook, eventually it's going to get you 2, 3, 4 years. A lot of YouTubers have dropped off because they're not making mounds of money and they just run out of recipes. Whoops, where am I going? I don't know why I did that. This could be a problem. Hold on. Kelly Belly did that. I don't know why that just moved on me. Hold on. Let me see if I could turn this off. So it's been an amazing run for sure. Hold on, I'm going to try to turn my camera off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to turn this off. I don't know why it did that. My camera's freaking out. Hold on. Still working on it. Bear with me. I got no temp here. It's just me. All right, I turned auto tracking off, and it's still freaking out. Hold on. I don't think I can tap back in once I go. I might have to hold the camera there. I don't know, my camera's freaking out. It moved for no reason. I don't think I can go out of StreamYard. Once I end the stream, I think I'm done. So I can't do that, but just kind of bear with me here. I don't know if I'm going to have to end this show early. Hold on. See, it's down here. I can do the show from over here. I don't know. Does anybody know if I can end the stream here and then log back in? Because something's definitely wrong with my camera. Hold on. Well, let me just go down this list here. We're going to have to figure this out. Oh, wait. She's getting better. Hold on. Guys, just going to have to bear with me. I see everyone's still here. Give you a little. There's Freddie Mercury on the back wall. There's me in the middle on Daytona Beach. That's me right below with no shirt on. There's some other stuff. I can do the show from down here. It's a little better. So anyway, let me try to get through this. All right, we might have something here. All right, well, that's better anyway, so sorry about that, but it is what it is. So Tom's making a recipe. That's definitely good. And I'm guessing that's the Jamaica patty. Let me try something here. Hold on. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just gonna have to. I'm gonna have to do the show on the low down here. I've been to Chicago. I've been to Chicago. Didn't like it. Been to Cleveland. Didn't like it. I live in Columbus, Ohio. Don't like it since it's growing. Yeah, it's the city vibe. I get it. Although New York used to be, when I used to go to New York a lot, New York used to be cool. Let me know how the sound is. The sound still good? New York used to be pretty cool. I don't know how it is now. Everything's a little different now. Yeah, Philly. Yeah, I could see that. Philly could be a little bit rough. Well, I think I just lost the show. Oops, I'm back. Philly could be a little rough. They booed Santa Claus, they say, on a football game. There's my man, Griddle Cook, eating more. What is shaking? Heading to New Orleans in October. Any specific? God, the food, Chris, man, the food was so good. I would never order what I ordered. Let me see if I can bring this up real quick. But the owner of Chef's Temp said that I should try it. It was lobster filled with shrimp. It was a lobster filled with shrimp and angel hair with an old 80s style cream sauce, like a Newburg, if you know what a Newburg sauce is. Um, it was so friggin' good. It was like about 60 bucks. And I would never order something like that, on somebody, but he suggested it. So of course, I'm not going to pass on it. I'm almost to where it is. Just bear with me. The food in New Orleans. Now, look, the food in Chicago ain't bad neither, but it is not going to touch the food. The food in New Orleans was off the charts, man, just off the charts. Here's the That's the lobster. That's the lobster dish right there. You see the body was split open, and it was filled with probably lobster meat, shrimp, and like I said, like a cream sauce, like an old style Newburg sauce. If you guys know what that is. Um, Look, man, 10 out of 10. The food is in New Orleans is off the charts. It's off the charts. You probably won't get anything bad to eat in New Orleans because I don't think that restaurant would survive. So it was definitely cool, and they also have a casino that I didn't make it to the casino. The days are long when you work events like this. They start 8 o'clock in the morning to 5, 6. Then you go out to dinner, 7:30, 8 o'clock. Man, that I'm toast by then. So then of course it's trying to get to sleep, because it's a new bed. The pillows, aren't my pillows, and blah blah blah. Very very. I'm not high maintenance, but when it comes to time to sleep, like if I go see friends, if I go visit friends, I will not stay at their house. Okay. I have to stay at a hotel. I don't want to be, I don't want to ever, not that I would ever feel uncomfortable, but I want to feel comfortable. I go see friends or anywhere, even a niece, a nephew, a cut, I don't care who it is. I stay at a hotel. I cannot stay in somebody's house. My sleep is too much. It's too important, for me. Skynet took control of Tommy's cam. There you go. I actually got my Wi-Fi off. I don't know what happened, man. It moved. It moved on its own. As you can hear Molly freaking out. Now, yeah, I got it. I got it. Okay, don't end it. Once you end it, it's over. Okay. That's from speaking from experience. Call the temp. No kidding. You may have to pay him overtime. I had that conversation again with somebody because we were talking about obviously about this, and that is just one. Obviously, I'm a different beast than the girls. My priorities are different. Where I want to go is different than what they're trying to do. I could never hire somebody. I was talking. I don't know if it was my wife or who I was talking to, but if I turned edits over to somebody, I could probably double the amount of money that I could make, because the way it works now is I'll film and then the next day I'll edit. Film, edit, film, edit. If I turned my edits over to somebody, I wouldn't have to edit, so I could film, 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 and just blow out recipes. And I could definitely probably make 50, 60% more on the money, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to hire anybody. I don't want to call people, that are running late, or, I went out last night and they can't, I just don't want to deal with any of that stuff. I just want to wake up and just do whatever it is I want to do. You know, and that works well for me. It's tiring, but it works well because I don't have to answer to anybody. I've even had beefs with like people that hired me to do cooks where I just told them forget it, go find somebody else. I really don't care. The camera I have is an Insta 360. I'm sure there has been more advanced in these cameras, and I can set up one of my Sonys over there. But again, all I want to do is turn stuff on and go. So, to use one of my Sony A7 IVs, it would be a great picture, but I'd have to set it up before I go live. And I don't want to do any of that. I just want to hit a button and just go live. Yeah, I'm good now, I think. Barbecue house calls. I'm lost on that one. The temp needs to add house calls. I'm lost on that one. He never takes off the temp, but I don't know what the temp. I know the temp's there on the live day on a Friday, but I don't know. Does the temp work Wednesday, Thursday, or does he just come in and start working on Friday? I don't know how that works. I know I kind of got it figured out, because that's what I do. That so you go live Friday, but you're practicing the recipe probably Wednesday or Thursday. So you do a dry run of the recipe. I'm sure you're not winging the live show, because, quite frankly, some of the recipes that you do, I'm quite surprised that you can get it done in 45 minutes. It has to be done. So I'm pretty sure there's a run through of the show. Oh, look at that. Okay, that's a little better. Of course, I'm on an angle, so I'm pretty sure there's like a run through of the show. Again, they're a little bit more professional than me. I'm just a wing it. I'm a wing it kind of guy. Scotty's backyard barbecue checking in. And Danny said, smoked our homemade bacon on the master built today. So I did sell another. So I am down to one master built. I won't reveal here which one I kept, but and obviously maybe Scotty knows. So please don't blurt it out. That's a video coming up. The new rule here is, when I use a grill, if a company sends me a grill to use it and they only pay me once, it's sold the next day. I can't keep 15 grills on the property anymore. Let me move this over. That makes it a little bit better. Whoa. Go like that. Reading through the things. Ooh, Farah checking in. Look at that. Hey, first time catching a live. Well, it is good to have you here. I like when the crew checks in. So it is definitely good to see you, Farron. I do appreciate it. Of course, Maddie throwing out some love. Judge Webb throwing some Scotty love. And I guess that's that lobster dish. And Anthony says, hello, Tom. That is the Tom's Food Factory, I'm guessing, because I don't think anybody calls me Tom. The Emeralds, Emeralds is Emeralds. He's I don't know if if he works there though, but Tom, there's so much food in New Orleans that it's all so good. All so good. Probably, I'd say probably, I mean, look, New York's got some good food, restaurants, some good Italian restaurants and stuff, but I think New Orleans would have to be top five city destinations in the States for food. I mean, it has to be. Of course, it's a style food. If you don't like, if you don't like the style of food in New Orleans, you're not going to like it. But man, and I'll tell you another thing, they got good coffee, good coffee. I'm a guy who needs good coffee. When I go on vacation, like even like Jamaica or Mexico, when I read the reviews at on TripAdvisor, one thing I'm looking for is the places that have coffee, like a Starbucks, but not a Starbucks, but a coffee spot on the resort. If they don't have it, sometimes I'll nix it because need coffee in the morning. I get up, even on vacation, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning, and I'm on a hunt for coffee early. I need my coffee. I enjoy my coffee, coffee, and that's the end of that. And Emerald is definitely incredible. I did have a recipe in one of Emerald's books. I think I cut a lot of my books out, so I don't have the Emerald book anymore. I got rid of. I used to have a lot of books, but I just had to get rid of them. I actually dropped a lot off these free book things, like in lower, like Asbury, just a little lower parts of town. They have these uh, mailboxes. You put books in there. People come, they take the books, they put other books in. It's kind of a cool idea. And got rid of a lot of my, I got rid of a lot of my cookbooks. But there was an Emerald's recipe that I used to make that was good. And there is my man Larry. I grew up with him. Checking in. I appreciate that. Essence Seasoning. I give Emerald credit because he quit at the height of his career. He was as big as you can get on TV. And he gave it all up. He didn't want it anymore. He just wanted to, he just wanted to cook. He just wanted to cook. He didn't want all the BS that comes along, that comes along with it. And there is Four Seasons BBQ checking in. What is shaking? We have a pretty decent crew happening. And you're in Missouri. You know, yeah, like I don't know if it was my wife, whoever it was I was talking to. I don't think so this is good for you, Kelly, because Kelly asks a lot of questions, about because he has a channel. When I'm filming, I'm setting up the shot as I'm going to edit it. So I'll move the camera like on the griddle. I'll move the camera to a certain spot to get that close up of whatever I'm cooking. And there's a certain shot that I'm gonna want in the edit. And if I turn that over to somebody, I'm guessing a lot of times what I want is not going to be in there. Lately, what I have been doing, I have been my thumbnails are in my head before I even cook. So today's recipe, I already knew before I went out and cooked today, and we're going to get to that. I have to talk about that. What time is it? I'm rambling here, but before I even turn on the griddle or the barbecue, the pit, I already have the thumbnail in my head of what I want it to be. So I'm going to make sure that I get that shot for the thumbnail. And I've been doing that with the cooks. I've already got a lot of the whole thing already planned out before I even get started. That is something, something new for me. But today so obviously I just talked about Stephen Reichlin. So today he sent me one of his cookbooks. It's not even out yet. It's actually a griddle cookbook, and I made one of his recipes today. The picture's not really going to probably do it too much justice, but I'm going to show you anyway. So they were pork chops on the griddle with a South Carolina mustard sauce, but he also supplied a custom rub. So he listed the rub. So I got the ingredients. I made that. I made his South Carolina mustard sauce, and I griddled up these chops, and they were so good. If you own a restaurant, you would have this recipe on the menu. That's how good it was. It wasn't like a slop food, like a lot of griddle recipes that I do. I'm not going to say slop food, but they're just mounds of food. You know what I mean? It looks good on camera, but you're not going to find a lot of it on a restaurant. They friggin' taste great, but they're not like something would be on a menu. You know what I mean? You can go to New Orleans and find this recipe on the menu in New Orleans. That's what I'm talking about. Amazing, amazing recipe. I can't say enough about it. And of course, the video will be out Wednesday. Please watch it. But just amazing. He nails the flavors. He nails the flavors. So the man knows what he's doing. That is for sure. Um, yeah, it's just it's the what do they say? It's what you always hear like actors say it. Freedom, something freedom. I can't remember. But it's something freedom. I mean, somebody's going to bring it up. Somebody's going to know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's like artistic freedom, maybe. That sounds almost gay, but you know what I mean? It's just like artistic freedom, man, just to do what I want to do. There you go. Scotty's kind of busy himself editing now. Like tomorrow. So I knew it was going to rain all day tomorrow. So what did I do? So it was kind of misty today, but I went out, I cooked today, got all the footage in my computer, and tomorrow, I have a great day planned. I'll get up, usually, I'll go to the gym, blah, blah, blah. Then I'll come back. I've got the Z Grills to edit. I've got my own video to edit. I got to get into my taxes. Tax day is coming. I got to get into there a little bit and play around with that. So it's a nice indoor day tomorrow. Um, Taking days off like on a Monday. So if I had somebody editing my stuff, I couldn't cook tomorrow because, it's going to rain all day. So it just kind of works out where I just don't want to hire anybody. New Orleans, I'm guessing, or Memphis in May, or Vegas, or Jamaica. I mean, we talked about so many places. Hey, man, what is shaking? It's good to see you, man. Spent a little time out there with Big Rome Jr. I can't even pronounce that one. Gala Goose. I can't even pronounce that. Ruben in Houston at the at the rodeo event. I'm hoping to get out there. I'm hoping to get out there next year. I would have went this year, but I had I think it was the Chicago show, which I won't go to that show anymore. Chicago ain't gonna see me. So Emerald didn't quit. Food Network went on the wire out. He was upset. Okay, so there you go. I didn't know that. But wasn't he on like wasn't he on like Channel 7 also? I thought he kind of gave it all up. I could be wrong. I just know he kind of disappeared. I mean, I know he was like the king of the Food Network, but I thought he was on like Channel 7 or regular TV, ABC. I thought he had his own show like on ABC, like Regis and Kelly. I thought Emerald had a show that came on every day on network TV. Yeah, that goes to what I was talking before. I know a lot of these channels drop, and I talked to Scotty a little bit about it. Yeah, anybody could pick up a camera, and everybody likes to eat. So everybody can pick up a camera and start cooking, and they can run at it for a year, 2 years, 3 years. But then if they don't have a recipe knowledge, a cooking background where they, I'm not going to say where they know how to cook. I'm just saying if they don't know food and this, that, and the other, they're going to run out of recipes. They're going to run out of motivation. The money's not going to be what they thought it was. It's going to become a hassle, and they're just going to drop off. There's so many channels that are gone from when we started, and I always say like we're second generation YouTubers, like Scotty, Daddy Dutch, whoever's in the chat. The first generation was like Greg from Ballistic, Troy, that's T. Roy. I consider those guys first, Russ, Smoky Ribs. I consider those guys like first generation YouTubers. And I feel like we're second generation YouTubers. The third generation YouTubers, I think a lot of them, I know Kevin's still hanging in there from Man. I can't remember his channel name. There's a couple hanging in there, but they're starting to drop too because it ain't easy, man. Daddy Dutch be well. Ron's been hanging in there for a while. That Brat Burger was killer. Hit the like button. I do appreciate that. My buddy Marty checking in. Uncle Steve Shake is the bomb. I sent her out some. Uncle Steve Shake. You gotta watch my pork chop video that's coming out Wednesday. You will love it. I'm telling you, it's friggin'. He just got all the flavors. It's just amazing. The only thing I left out is Steven called for liquid smoke. I don't like liquid smoke, so I left that out. And wow, just amazing. Yeah, I keep all my records, so I'm pretty cool there. But there's just a lot of shit to go over. My 560 died on me a while ago. It was just me. Big was thinking about a master. Yeah, I don't have any experience on that auto ignite. I think Tom Horseman may have one, but and I don't even think it's safe to look for a used 560 now because I think the 560 has run its course. So I don't know. Are you that against pellet grills? Pellet grills is excellent pit for two people. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I mean, I've never made my own, but after tasting it, I have no desire. I have no desire to either it's going to be smoke or not smoke. Maybe a liquid smoke that you make is good, but this recipe did not lack from liquid smoke. When you see the video, you're going to see the char that I put on these chops. There's a little bit of brown sugar play in the recipe, so the brown sugar gets a nice crisp on it. People say burnt, whatever. I'm calling it char, and I'm telling you, man, the Stephen, he knows how to put flavors together because all the flavors of this recipe meshed so good. Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea. Maybe a hardcore smoker like Scotty. I mean, Scotty lives for smoke. I don't live for smoke. I'll be the first one to tell you. I like a little smoke, but I don't live for it. I know Scotty lives for it, so liquid smoke probably works for him. I'm not killing people that get shit smoked. But Scotty, he eats and breathes smoke. You know, so different strokes for different folks for sure. I mean, if I'm gonna smoke, I'm gonna smoke and not smoke. Smoke salt, smoke paprika, liquid devil smoke. Yeah, how about a kettle, Anthony? A kettle's friggin' how could you beat a kettle? I mean, a kettle will do everything a Masterbuilt will do with a lot of less headache. Pour charcoal in and you can smoke, you can grill, you can smoke, and it'll cost you, $100. I would definitely go for a kettle. That's perfect for two people, perfect for four people. Yeah, I appreciate that. My passion is barbecue, but my passion is just cooking. I don't care what I'm cooking, from a grilled cheese to steak au poivre to ribs, to the griddle. It's cooking is definitely a passion, and that just goes into what I was saying before. If you don't have a passion for cooking, if you don't have a passion for smoking, you're not going to last doing a cooking show. You'll last 2, 3 years, but then, when you see the grind is starting to get to you and you just don't know what to cook anymore, um, you know, it goes to what I was saying with Steven Reichland. Like when I say, all those flavors work, all the ingredients on this chop recipe just gels together so good, and that's what makes a good recipe. If you didn't have that knowledge, it'd be hard to put something together. He didn't put something to, wherever he got this recipe, I don't know, and it's not a complicated recipe, but he didn't put it together by accident. The man definitely knows what seasonings go with what, and what, poultry, proteins go with what's, he has a great food knowledge, this guy, and a story behind everything, man. Everything. Like you can't ask him a question without a story. And if I play the interview where I sat down with him for about 6 minutes and interviewed him in New Orleans, it all starts with a story. And to me, that's the book. That's the book. Yeah, his recipes are awesome, but the book is the stories behind the recipes. Of course, I'll never read them because I really don't read books, but listening to him talk, and I know there are some big book readers who would love, those stories. The that griddle channel, I get a lot of those recipe ideas from Scotty, and then I start changing them around in my head and sleeping on it. I feel, because some of the griddle recipes are different than any other channel. I feel I want to, I don't know if I can, I would love to put it in a cookbook or even, or a PDF. Not the barbecue, although I can throw some of the barbecue in there. But look, the barbecue's been done. Uh, Somebody's done it. You can change around this and that on a rib recipe, but party ribs, blah blah blah. It's been done. A lot of these griddle recipes are a little different than what other people are doing. Some are the same, but a lot of the recipes are newer. It would just be cool. But again, it's time. Anybody want a job doing that? I would think about it. Can't beat a good Weber kettle, that is for sure. Like I talk about all the time, if I wasn't doing YouTube, I'd have what I would have would be a Weber Performer, I think it was called. That is the kettle with the cart. I had two of them, or in the past, the Weber kettle with the cart with the little tank to ignite it. Best grill you could. That's the best grill. That's the best grill of any grill. I feel the Performer 22 kettle Performer with the gas ignition charcoal with the cart is can't beat it. I don't even know if Weber makes it anymore. It's the best. I mean, you could find them used, and I would definitely grab them for sure. Definitely hit those thumbs up. We had a nice crowd in here tonight, man. That was pretty cool. So I should be here next week, but I think I'm going out on holiday at the end of the month. So maybe one or two more shows. And Molly she knows. So Molly, Scott a kitten, takes a run. So Molly knows when I'm live, and I'm going to close with this. She knows when I'm live. She either watches my wife watching it, and she starts acting up because she never acts up like this. She only does it on Sunday nights when I'm live. So she's out there acting up, probably looking for attention. There is my man Grill. Yeah, checking in. We are still waiting for you to fire up the pit and roll some film. I appreciate that. This was a fun show. Went quick, and it looks like my camera is almost working. I don't know, just freaked out, mind of its own. So look, that is it, man. James, I appreciate you. Of course, Kiki and Maddie, I appreciate you. You know that. Scotty, Robert, Mike. Did I say hi to Mike? Appreciate that. Kelly, appreciate you popping in. Kelly just landed in a job, a new job, a good job. Marty, I appreciate you. Going up the list, Tom's Food Factory. I appreciate Farah. If you're still out there, I appreciate you popping in. I wanted to get you one more quick shout out. I'm sure I'll be seeing you Friday over at the girls' channel. Bat, definitely appreciate you, John. And that is going to close out this show. Wednesday, watch that pork chop video, and you're going to want to make that. You can make it, if you don't have a griddle, make it in a saute pan. It's the same thing. The flavors are there, and all the ingredients you probably have in your cabinet. Just got to pick up the chops. It's got some Dijon mustard in it. It's good stuff. Alrighty, guys. So look, that is going to close out the show. Again, I appreciate everybody who follows me, who supports me, but also supports the other channels that are in this chat. This is one big family because I see a lot of these same people in the girls live. James, Bat 13, I don't want to forget everybody. You know who you are. Tom's Food Factory, Daddy Dutch. Everybody, man. Everybody. I appreciate all you guys. Everybody have a great week, man. Go make it happen this week. Spring is right around the corner. Wake up tomorrow with a smile and go tackle the day, man. Make it a fun day. Make it a fun week. And that is going to close out this show. My voice is gone, and we will see you soon.